What is up, guys? It's Heartless Gamer here. I'm coming with you to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone video. So we're going to get right into this video. Today we're going to be talking about the top tips that could improve your gameplay overall when it comes to playing Warzone Battle Royale or any of that type of stuff, whether it's the Purge mode or whatever it's called, or playing solo or with the squad, or maybe just like duos together if those come out. But these tips kind of all relate to that. So we're gonna get started. So the first tip I want to go with is landing together to start. I mean, that's pretty much an obvious there, but I feel like it's a necessity because it seems like, especially what I've come across is, if you're landing where there's three people and they're going to outgun you, you're usually in the beginning, that's when you're going to die right away, is when you land by yourself and, you know, you have three people land in a similar area. That's when you tend to die, more or less. So just keep that in mind when you're landing, is try and land as a team as much as possible. And then the next rule, step, tip, as I should say, kind of pulls into that, and that's having good communication. You need to have good team communication. That definitely comes into play when you're landing together from the start of the game, but that also plays out throughout the whole match itself, is having good team communication. You know, I probably have a 40 to 50% rate of being top 10. Actually, it's probably even higher than that. It's probably like 65 to 70, and top 3 I probably have about a 35% out of all the games I play. So I mean, and I always wonder, like, why isn't it higher? You know, sometimes it's because I don't have good communication, and good communication can go a long way into a game. So for obvious reasons, because of call outs and stuff like that. Call outs are critical when it comes to this, especially if you're looking at your map and stuff like that. And going on from where you're gonna go, as far as like what part of the circle, what building you're going in, and stuff like that. So that definitely kind of plays a critical role in communication and stuff like that. My tip number 3 is finding your loadout. Loadouts are very critical in this game mode, especially if you can buy your own loadout. And I'll kind of talk about money later in the video. I kind of go back to this point, but you need to figure out what loadout works for you. My loadout consists of a heartbeat sensor, amped, and 2 other perks I can't think off the top of my head, but they all work towards like what I do. I think one's scavenger, and I forget the other one off the top of my head. I think it's like point man or something else. I don't remember off the top of my head. I have RPG, and I use a kilo with a thermal sight, grips, a couple different grips, and a 100-round mag. And I think a suppressor is the other one, actually. So that's kind of like my loadout with C4. I use that because that's just like what works for me. I like the thermal scope, and we'll get into that, why I like that, as well as C4's critical and stuff like that when it comes to certain parts of the game. And why do I use the RPG? Well, this is tip number 4. The RPG is a dominant weapon in this game. Say, for instance, if you can learn how to maneuver the RPG, you can hit moving targets like they're nothing. I'm gonna post a video on TikTok later of me hitting this epic kill from about 250 meters on a moving UTV vehicle, like the one I'm currently driving in. Although I might edit the video, so you might not see the UTV. But the RPG is a phenomenal weapon. I've seen amazing kills with it online, on Reddit and TikTok and stuff like that. So it's a pretty versatile weapon, and if you learn how to use it, and that's why I use amp, because you can reload it faster and you can switch your weapons faster. That's why it's critical to have on your loadout. Teamwork is very critical when it comes to this. This goes back to communication. This goes back to everything that I've said so far, landing together. Teamwork makes the dream work, and I believe that truly. If you don't have a good team, like if you have one guy with a mic, 2 guys that don't have a mic, or 2 guys are in a party, 1 guy's in game chat, and you guys aren't communicating, you're not going to be able to team up together and do what you need to do. Like, there's times where I'll push from one side and my other 2 teammates will push from the back. Yeah, I might get down, but my 2 teammates just wipe the squad. So it's kind of like you're sacrificing yourself, but you're also you're making the team work. Like, so, you might see in some of my videos where you'll see that come into play, teamwork happening and stuff like that. So teamwork definitely makes the dream work, and I truly believe that. Tip number 6 for you is vehicles. Vehicles are very critical. Mainly one of my favorite things, and this is kind of a pro, is you can like just run people over and they instantly die. I think I was playing solo earlier and I had 6 kills in like a minute and a half, and 4 of them were in like under 45 seconds. Just because at the start of the game, I was at military base and I just ran everybody over. Fun fact for you: you don't show a score, but you still show the kills when you kill people, and you still get XP for it. So that's kind of cool. The cons, they're loud as shit, and if you're trying to be stealthily, I would not get in a vehicle because you can hear those motherfuckers a mile away, and they actually show up on your mini map as in red or blue. Obviously, blue means you're in it. Red means there's an enemy, unless you change your color scheme. That's that. The next tip I have for you guys, heartbeat sensor. I'll go with tip 7 and 8 because they kind of could be put together. So tip 7 and 8 is the heartbeat sensor and the thermal scope. So why the heartbeat sensor? Well, the heartbeat sensor allows you to see up to anybody about from 50 to 55 meters away from you, as long as they don't have like the heartbeat sensor perk thing that doesn't let you see it or whatever it's called. But that's very critical because you can see a 180 direction on which way they're coming. So you just kind of, if you want to whop that out real quick, you just shoot the front way, the back way, and then you can kind of see they'll show up green. They'll show up as many people that are in that 50-meter area. I've seen it up to 6 because obviously 2 teams fighting each other and stuff like that. But it's very critical to have onto your class. And on to tip number 8, why the thermal scope? Well, 1, if somebody tries to throw a smoke, you can see through it. But 2, when you're up in top of buildings and you're looking through tree lines, sometimes it's hard to see with a regular scope somebody moving. So having a thermal scope is very critical because you can kind of see the different heat signatures with the thermal scope and stuff like that. And you can tell, hey, is that a car? Is that a person? How many people are there? You can kind of see better. And me overall using a LMG, or not an LMG, a machine gun, it definitely helps tremendously when you use it, a assault rifle, to try and attempt to single shot people. The height advantage. Height advantage is very critical, not just because when you're sniping, but when you are sniping, I didn't throw this in there with your scopes, you can see those as like a white flash. So keep that in mind too when you're looking for people in tree lines and on buildings. The white flash is usually a sniper of some sort. But anyway, back to tip number 9. Tip number 9, height advantage. Height advantage is very critical, especially when you can be on top of buildings and look down at people and catch them off guard, or fire rockets and stuff like that. So I definitely think that's extremely critical when it comes to that. So being up high definitely plays a factor. Plenty of times where I've actually lost games because I was not high enough. So just keep that in mind when it comes to that. Tip number 10, this is the last and final tip, Gulag and Money. So first off, the Gulag is really interesting. It's the first 19 minutes of the game, I believe, first 18 to 20 minutes, somewhere around there. I thought it was like 19, but like right from when you drop into the map starts, you can get into your Gulag, and you can only use it one time. Every squad member can use it. So even if you all die at the same time, you all enter the Gulag at the same time. So that's kind of cool. I like it because it gives you that second chance aspect of like, hey, you might have fucked up or you've blown yourself up with an RPG, because I've done that before. I did that in solo plenty of times. So it gives you that second chance of making a comeback. And there's plenty of times I've won a couple games where we've come back, one guy, and revived the whole team, paid for it with money, and you win the game, or top second or third place, so you're getting better like that. So using the Gulag to your advantage, and if you can get good at gun game and understand being versatile with a lot of different weapons, or even like C4 and stuff like that, that could be very critical to you having a win in Warzone. So a part of the other tip of number 10 is money. Money is very critical. When I first was playing, I was like, oh, money, that sounds kind of stupid, but it really does make sense. Using money to your advantage. What do I mean by that? Well, to get your most money is obviously killing other people who have a lot of money is the most fastest way to get money for reviving your teammates, but high risk, high reward kind of thing, Why money? I would recommend, if you're going to use your money wisely to start the game, I would go Loadout. And if you're using like me, like an RPG, I like to get munitions box and then a self-revive kit. So that's about $15,000 by myself. You can drop money with your teammates to kind of collaborate, like, hey, you're closer to this or you're closer to that, and we need this for a team. Or even like UAV kill streaks, or I've been using more like precision airstrikes. I feel like those are very critical. I've gotten triple kills with them on top of roofs and stuff like that. Even cluster strikes sometimes are critical, but I really prefer the precision airstrike when it comes to kill streaks and stuff like that. UAV is extremely critical as well, as far as seeing more than 50 meters in the whole area of the map that you're in. It's extremely critical to use. But I hope these tips helped for you guys today. That's pretty much what I got for today. I'd like to know what your favorite tip was in the description below, comment section below. My favorite tip is definitely communication, and having that good teamwork ethic is definitely critical to winning. But that's my favorite tip that I gave you guys. I'd like to know what yours is, and if you have any other tips you'd like to give the community out there, definitely comment below what they are. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I saved my intro towards the end where I say, hey, you know, thank you so much for watching. Can you please subscribe to my channel if you found this video meaningful? That would mean the world to me. You know, like it, share it all over. I'm starting to stream more. I stream on Facebook Live, Mixer, and Twitch, usually all at the same time. Maybe YouTube eventually, but I really prefer making videos here more or less than live streaming. And we just recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so if you're one of my subscribers, and even if you're not, I want to thank you so much for watching this video and tuning in. I hope to see you guys next time on my channel. I'm going to be out of here. I'm signing off. Heartless out. Bye.